There's a new PlayStation handheld that's in development that has a lot of people wondering, is this the PlayStation Portal 2? Is this the PlayStation Vita 2? Is this finally a device that lets us play native PlayStation 4 and 5 games on the go? Let's talk about it. Welcome to the next episode of Decked Up, a gaming and tech podcast. Oh, what's up, everybody? It's Mekel Kasanova, host of Decked Up, a gaming and tech podcast, #1 podcast in Hawaii for tech, gaming, entertainment, and so much more. Well, alongside my other show, the Kasanova Podcast, where I interview the gaming and tech industry, voice actors, celebrities, and so much more, all right here from the great Hawaii 808. Yeah, all that stuff. So if you are interested in that, go check out that podcast. Or if you're interested in anime and manga, then check out Podcast Across Worlds, which is hosted by Leo Superfina and myself. I'm the co-host. So all those will be down below in the description. All that being said, welcome everyone. Hope y'all are having a great and aloha, beautiful day. We're going to be talking about none other than this new rumor, leak, alleged. We always got to say alleged because we got to protect our journalistic integrity because nothing is concrete right now. But apparently, there is a new handheld that is in development from PlayStation that is supposed to allow us to play PlayStation 4 and 5 games natively without the need to do remote play. And we're going to dive into this a lot more, but this has a lot of people assuming that the PlayStation Portal was a failure. The interesting thing about that is it wasn't in any way, shape, and form of a failure. If anything, the best way I can put it, since it's an accessory to the PlayStation 5 itself, is it was literally them testing the waters to see if people were interested in another handheld that's on the market. Because regardless of what people here in the US feel or the Western world about, oh, that's stupid. Who cares about cloud gaming? Who would buy this? Who would buy that? When people say that, I always laugh because it's like, just because you wouldn't personally buy it doesn't mean anyone else wouldn't buy it. It's the same thing when people have this mentality about mobile gaming, saying nobody plays mobile games. No one cares about it. When that's the #1, gaming industry in Asia. So it's everything is down to perspective. You're never 100% right on anything. You can be close enough, but never 100% hitting the mark on it. So just because the Portal wasn't for you, I love it. I got sent it by PlayStation, but they're not the reason I love it. I was doing remote play before that. But just because you may not like it doesn't mean someone else may not like it as well. So yeah, that's the thing. I just want to get that out of the way before we fully dive into this article from WCCF Tech. Make sure you do all the stuff that YouTube likes. If you're enjoying this podcast and every other episode, like, share, comment, subscribe. If you're listening to it on any of the major podcasting outlets, so Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Mouthful, I gotta catch my breath. Whew. Then make sure you do the stuff that podcast outlets like, which is liking, sharing, commenting, rating, all that stuff. So that being said, let's go ahead and not dally anymore. Let's go ahead and get into this episode. So this is a rumor, but it's from WCCF Tech. And the alleged rumor is that the new PlayStation handheld powered by AMD is in early development with 18 CUs, 1.8 gigahertz or slower GPU to maintain compatibility with PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 titles. Now off the bat, just going off of that, this is going to have similar architecture, in my opinion, to Steam Deck, ROG Ally, Lenovo Legion Go, MSI Claw, all the gaming PC handhelds. That would be the only way it's going to be able to run these games natively, because a lot of these games, if they can run on PC, a lot of them are running on Steam Deck and other gaming handhelds because, they're being a lot better optimized, not perfectly optimized, but better optimized than they were, say, 5, 6, 7, or even 10 or more years ago. So because of that, I can easily see this happening. I don't know about this year, maybe this year with an announcement. Because if they were going to put this out there, they would have done this with the state of play that we had the other day, but they didn't do that. And this also has me of the mindset that the new Switch is going to be similar to this when it comes to like power and performance. And, except I think it's going to have an NVIDIA chip in it instead of an AMD, just because of Nintendo and NVIDIA's partnership. So do keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and go through his article because it's, it's got some meat on it. So let's go ahead and talk about it. So this was written by Francesco De Meo. Shout out to them for writing this on February 1st, 2024. And let's go ahead and go through it. It says a new PlayStation handheld powered by AMD is in early development, and it will apparently be compatible with both PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 titles. As reported by Moore's Law is Dead in a new YouTube video, the Japanese company, and that's interesting. Your source is a YouTube channel. Interesting. It's very, very, very interesting journalism there. Just keep it in mind. YouTube. But all right. Anyways. So they're apparently planning to re-enter the handheld market with new hardware. The console will be powered by a custom AMD APU and is currently in the high-level design phase, meaning that it is at least 2 years away and hasn't been greenlit for any for release yet. So it's roughly 2 years. That's what I'm thinking. I was thinking if this is going to come out this year, it would have been done at the PlayStation State of Play we had the other day. But since that's not the case, this makes sense that probably middle of next year, end of next year, I could definitely see it coming out then. Let's keep going. Says the specs for this new PlayStation handheld have yet to be defined, but Moore's Law is Dead speculates it's likely to utilize 18 CUs to maintain compatibility with all PlayStation 4 titles available on PlayStation Store. In addition, the console will be compatible with PlayStation 5 titles as well, although developers would have to patch them to make them run properly on the console. That's not going to be an issue because for a lot of these AAA games that are coming out and the developers are making sure it runs on deck 95% of the time. We see it with Square Enix with Final Fantasy VII Remake because they really wanted you to buy that on PC. Not so much with Forspoken. That's another topic. But anyways, I can definitely see this. This is an issue. AAA developers are making sure that their games can run on deck. We also saw that with Elden Ring. I almost forgot that for a minute. Elden Ring was actually fixed with its performance on deck, and then that fixes that they were making helped it around on other platforms. So this is not anything major. Definitely can see this happening. Anyways, let's keep going with this. It says, as such, it's possible the new system's GPU could run at 1.8 gigahertz or slower due to the PlayStation 5's variable clock speeds. So, okay, I'm going to keep reading this before I keep interjecting. Y'all might get annoyed with me for interjecting. But anyways, while the new PlayStation handheld could be just 2 years away, there's a chance it will take more time to see its release if it is greenlit. As it has been suggested to Moore's Law is Dead that the console will be part of the PlayStation 6 family, releasing as a handheld alternative meant for the Japanese market. All right, so okay. PlayStation 6. I don't see a PlayStation 6 happening for another 4 years. I'm just not seeing it happen. It would be, and let me switch cameras. It would be financially reckless to drop a new console when your PlayStation 5 slim and or diskless, but let's say slim and with disk drive were only freely available for people to go in the store and get as of 2023 after dropping in winter or fall winter of 2020. So they need to make their profit back on the PlayStation 5 first. already number one with this console generation and selling, but to drop a PlayStation 6 when people are only now able to buy a PlayStation 5 easily is reckless. I don't think PlayStation or Sony as a whole is stupid enough to do that right now. That would be stupid. I know Xbox with their chart and everything that got leaked, we know they're making a new console, but that's coming out within 4 to 5 years from now, not 1 year, 2 year. It wouldn't make sense. So that's my little me being on the podium about that. So let's get back to this article. Anyways, going further down, says while a new PlayStation handheld could sound likely, the market has changed a lot since the days of the PlayStation Vita. The Nintendo Switch, the Steam Deck, and all other similar systems proved how there's a demand for similar devices. So it wouldn't be surprising for Sony to get back into it with a system that could fare better or much better than the Vita, as it would be compatible with home console titles. As of now, however, we have to take everything with a grain of salt and wait until an official confirmation to see if Vita will mean life once again. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I sound like I'm talking to my toddler. I apologize if I'm when I'm talking, I'm reading this that I may have pauses or such. Two reasons for those of y'all who don't know English. One is not my first language, is actually Samoan. Two, my when it comes to reading, I'm dyslexic, right? So I sometimes will trip over when I'm reading. Keep that in mind, which is funny. I'm dyslexic and I'm a journalist. Wow. Anyway, so all that being said, with this article here, is there anything more on that? I mean, we have it's yeah, okay, so it's the same thing. All right, let's go back. Same thing. All right, so that's literally all it is. That's all the information we got. And as far as the credibility of this, I could go two ways with this because really I don't know how many journalists actually would go so far as to, especially with a reputable outlet, that would go so far as to utilize a YouTube channel. And I'm not trying to discredit this YouTuber whatsoever. They're probably, I haven't personally heard of them because I don't watch a lot of gaming YouTubers really at all. If y'all curious anything, I watch Hines, love that guy's channel. You know, wrestling channels and such. I don't really keep up with gaming channels. I just don't. So, anyways, I don't really know of many journalists that would cite a YouTube channel as their source to make, especially when they work for a reputable outlet, that would use that as a reason to talk, make a whole article like this. You could look at this as, hey, news is dry. We got to write some. There we go. Editor EIC is like, go with it. I'm just saying. But they had me. You had me in the first half for a little bit, not gonna lie, until we got here and they said part of the PlayStation 6 family. What's not gonna make sense is if we were to go with this as a fact, why would you release a device that's playing PlayStation 4 and 5 titles when you're trying to launch a PlayStation 6 and push that? That doesn't make any sense. And we already know PlayStation really doesn't care about backwards compatibility. The reason it's still there with the PlayStation 5 is just because the level of parity between games on 4 and on 5, it's close enough to and a lot of developers, they were making a lot of money off PlayStation 4. So why would you cut that out, right? The architecture is very similar too. So it's like when you're developing for one, pushing it over from 4 to 5 is not that hard. I've talked to a lot of developers about that, and it's easier for them to do that than it would for them to go PlayStation 3 to PlayStation 4. So, PlayStation 6 family, I can't see PlayStation 1 to focus on the 4 and 5 when they're pushing 6. I don't see the PlayStation 6 coming out within, the PlayStation 6 family that could be 2 years away. I don't see that. I mean, earliest 3.5 to 4 years, but I'm still going to stick with 4 to 5 years. Each PlayStation console, as we've seen, has had a 10-year run. If we look at the PlayStation 6, uh, PlayStation 1 came out Japan 94, 95 in the US. PlayStation 2 came out 2000. PlayStation 3 came out 2006. PlayStation 4 2013. So, and then we look at PlayStation 5, that was 2020. So you're looking at a good 6 to 7 years between consoles from PlayStation, which makes about sense with their business model and how they develop stuff. And, you know, of course, you want more power overall, and I could definitely see that being a thing. But yeah, I not this soon. Not when retailers are finally able to stock it, people are buying it, it's selling like hotcakes. I don't see that's not a good business move. So that's just my thoughts on it. I'm very curious as to what you guys think about this. If we were to look at the handhelds, PlayStation Portable came out what, 05, 2005, and then we had the Vita 2012. So no, 2012, 2011, I believe. 2011 was the Vita. And we just had the Portal, even though that's an accessory to a console, not really a dedicated. Well, kind of is a dedicated handheld, but we already see how PlayStation doesn't put a lot of stock in the handheld to support it going on. We're seeing that with a lot of other things too with PlayStation and Sony as a brand. So yeah, I don't see that happen. Yeah, but definitely, I think they're gonna want to make it so that the games that come out on it are 1-to-1 to the home experience to an extent. I see them also wanting to get some of Nintendo's market with how the Switch has docked and undocked. They're kind of probably gonna want to have some of that market to stay afloat, because we're seeing that people want to play games on the go, whether it's mobile games, Nintendo handheld games, or PC games with all the Steam Deck and all that. People want to play on the go. They want to play how they want to pick and choose how they want to play. They don't want to have to just sit stationary all the time to play at a desk or in front of an entertainment center. That's just my thoughts on it. Definitely let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And I want to address something, because I had somebody else, in the comments section that was real fucking rude. That basically came out and he was like, "Oh, you need to clean your fucking room. Got all the stuff in the background." Um, I want to touch on this. One, my edibles just kicking in because I just got through working out, real grueling session workout, shower, edible, getting ready to make dinner. So it's hitting me. So my filter is coming off. Mask coming off. Well, I never have a mask. I'm always 100% authentic with you guys, but filter's coming off. So when y'all see these big YouTubers, they have these clean spaces where it looks like it's just a desk, background, backdrop, wherever they're at, plus them. They have a studio. They have whole teams. These are people working with thousands to hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands, $1 million budgets to do these videos. That is not something everyone can do, which I like to call the MKBHD effect and the Mr. Beast effect and unbox therapy effect, which you're seeing a lot of people, Matthew Monez, Your Average Consumer, all these other people. This is a style that really originated with MKBHD that everybody has emulated and copied for the last 10 plus years, right? Everyone's not going to do that. There's a level with that type of content creating that pulls, I feel, the consumer out of it, because it's more like an advertisement, like a commercial, versus the authentic one-to-one tangibility of something like, a lived-in space. Yes, family bed's right there. Second desk is right behind me. This desk is here. Kids will run in and out the room. You got pets going around. The fucking house is lived in. That's all I gotta say. Okay? It's lived in. I don't have a studio I'm going to record in. I ain't got that type of buku money. So just understand that. You fucking monkey. If you come back to the comment section and you say something like that, I will light you up in the comment section like that. Like I'm a Thanos you with the comment. Okay? Okay, cool. Got it. All right. Anyways, let me know what y'all think of this episode of the podcast. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Stay safe, be blessed, have aloha, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.